We were raised in societies that taught us certain behaviors. Sexual desires or specific lifestyles might be deemed inappropriate or shameful. Naturally, these traits disturb societal harmony, and anyone who exhibits them is often ostracized. Think of it like an orchestra. Every instrument follows the conductor's lead, but if one instrument plays out of sync, it disrupts the harmony. That musician is excluded for playing off-key. As humans, these gentle social beings, the last thing we want is to be cast out of our tribe or this societal orchestra. To avoid exclusion, we'll do almost anything to remain embraced by the tribe. This begins in early childhood as we learn the boundaries of what's socially acceptable and spend the rest of our lives trying to conform. This suppression creates pain. The only way to escape this pain is to hide it, masking it with the ego. The ego crafts stories about who you are, who you're not, and what you must avoid to stay accepted. Over time, you believe these stories. Once your convictions about yourself solidify, you dismiss any information that contradicts them. The ego becomes a shield protecting you from society's harsh judgment, but eventually, you mistake the shield for your true self. It becomes the lens through which you see the world, rejecting anything that challenges it. Society demands perfection, but everyone has flaws. We bury those flaws to live under the illusion of perfection. That's why everyone has a shadow, a collection of suppressed traits locked away in our subconscious. This shadow grows darker and denser, yet our avoidance of it hinders our ability to confront, heal, or integrate these parts of ourselves. But when flaws are acknowledged consciously, they can be continuously refined and corrected. This is why collective moral laws fall short. They tell us who we should be, but never guide us on how to become that person. All they say is, "This is wrong." The result? You spend your life suppressing your basic instincts without offering them a safe way to express themselves. In other words, you push all your failures into the unconscious and revel in pretending to be the person the tribe expects. You project purity while neglecting the deep inner work necessary for true growth. Even when we explore spirituality, we often allow the ego to hijack the journey for its own benefit, treating practices and teachings as mere decorations to display, rather than transformative tools. It becomes a lifestyle to show off, not a path to inner change. No real transformation takes place. That's why I emphasize shadow work, to bring the unconscious into consciousness. You uncover your hidden motives, step back, observe your habitual behaviors, and question the roots of your reactions. Because, in reality, you're not a singular being, you're a blend of many parts. The inner child, the rebel, the empath who wishes well for everyone, the leader, the comedian seeking to make others laugh. These parts don't vanish, but take on different forms. Shadow work helps you recognize the internal tension among them and understand why certain aspects of yourself remain stuck. For example, when you're triggered, pause and ask yourself, why did I react this way? Why did I say that? Facing your shadow means acknowledging your capacity for darkness and even evil. But instead of running from it, you must embrace it. Shadows aren't mysterious. They're often traits like greed, envy, laziness, or excessive emotionality. These are universal flaws we all share, but prefer to ignore. Yet, under stress, exhaustion, or pressure, these suppressed parts emerge, often catching us off guard. For instance, kind and cooperative people can suddenly become selfish or harsh when pushed to their limits. This is the shadow breaking through. Or when someone who typically annoys you just enters the room and you feel an irrational urge to criticize or confront them. This is another shadow projection. But we need the shadow. It keeps us grounded, reminds us of our imperfections, and offers opportunities for growth. Working with your shadow doesn't have to be gloomy or dramatic. On the contrary, it's best approached with a sense of humor and lightheartedness. Laughing at yourself can be incredibly liberating. Remember, the goal isn't to fix yourself. It's to realize you're not broken. You're already whole. Behind every negative action lies a positive intention. It's crucial to know your shadow, but even more important is ensuring it doesn't dominate your interactions with the world. Unaddressed shadows can weigh down your environment with negativity you've denied and suppressed. But acknowledging them doesn't make you a bad person. Everyone has their own subjective definitions of good and bad, which are often arbitrary. Once you understand that every human holds immense potential for both light and darkness, simplistic notions of good versus evil fade away. Above all, you're human, a complex being who defies simple classification. No one can truly understand another, only judge them. To understand others, you must first dive within and understand yourself. When you do, you'll recognize that their motivations and struggles aren't so different from your own. This is why we need more psychology and deeper insight into human nature. If you look at the problems in the world today, you'll realize the greatest danger is humanity itself. As they say, the root of all evil stems from not knowing ourselves. True enlightenment cannot exist without this inner work. If you want to save the world, start by tending to your shadow. Everyone has one. Toxic cultures arise when large groups of people unconsciously project their suppressed traits onto one another, creating environments of mistrust and harm. Everything begins with you and me. There's nothing to fix outside, only inside. When you stop reacting impulsively, you lessen your harm to others. Maybe then we can start rebuilding trust, one step at a time. People need to breathe, to rest, and most importantly, to live in peace.